All right, guys, we are live. We're not really live. We're getting there. We're getting there. Put that in there. Motor's ready. This is ready. All these things that I gotta get done.
These rough days off my mind. Leave these rough days far behind. You see them change.
Well, it looks like it's gonna be beautiful. Bluebird sky, of course. Never fails. Holy cow. Why does it kick up like that? I forgot to hook up my anti-reverse. Did you see that? I was like, whoa. Dude, I was at like 4.5 just right there. Does yours kick up a little bit when you go?
It should kick towards the kayak a little bit.
It was kicking up the other way.
Kick it up?
Yeah. Too high? Yeah, I think so. That's crazy. Let's do a speed test.
So, yeah, go see how fast you can go without the
Gotta start slow. So I got the pedals in. Right now I'm at 3.8 and I barely touched it. Sweet. 4.49, 300 watts. I gotta change the motor. I got to drop it down a little bit more. So I'm at 4.5 and I still have a bunch of throttle left. Turning's okay, not the best, but I can turn. Speed it up. 4.7. I got a bunch of cavitation in the back. So is that like 5.2? Do I need to raise it or lower it? Lower it? Yeah. The blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's with the drive in the water too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You should, that's why I say you should get how much throttle were you at?
I can only get about maybe even 3/4 maybe before I
Get 6.5 miles an hour.
before I cavitate. Yeah. Sweet. No, I ain't got any water in the back. I didn't really have any water coming up, so that's pretty good. I mean, I'm only at like 170 watts. So right now, like this, I can go 30 miles.
30 miles?
That's what it says. 25 miles is what it's saying, 24. Yeah, it doesn't give you percent, it gives you like wattage
Yeah.
or RPMs.
Yeah. So your battery is 1,000 watts.
Yeah,
So you just kind of have to figure it out that way.
yeah, yep. But I can, before I cavitate, mine's a lot quieter, that's for sure.
Oh, I thought that was yours.
No, that's yours.
Yeah. I got some vibration back here, I think, on those things. That's right at 60%. That's weird.
It just does it at 60, and then when you push through, it's not as bad. All right, guys, so we're out here. Got the native hammer and the Old Town 120. Ron's running a loud-ass NK 180. That's the 180 Pro, right?
Yeah.
And I'm running the Torqeedo. We're gonna do a speed test here before we cavitate.
But Chad can't do this.
I can't. I definitely can't do that. Hold on, I gotta watch you do that. Let me get so I can see you do that. That's about as wide as I have to go. Well, I don't want to push it even further. Come out here. Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah, if I slow down, it starts turning. Yeah! Frickin' big old gar. Yeah, come out here and do that turn. All right, we're gonna watch Ron do a turn on a native hammer with an NK 180 with the Wizard FCS steering system installed. It's pretty sick. This jugger will turn on a dime. His will. Mine will not. Look at that. When you do a turn, it kicks up. But that's crazy. I mean, you can flip your whole back end around. You can just sit there and do donuts. That's awesome. I can't do that. That's pretty cool. So there you go, guys. If you're wondering what the turn radius is on a native hammer, it does, man. I mean, you can just pivot in one. It's like having a 360. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some kind of stick steer or something for that motor to be able to. I mean, you're good from the distance, point A to point B, but you want to maneuver with it in a cove or something.
Yeah, and I don't really know if I will, to be honest with you. I don't really want to have any more crap up on the deck. I know. Well, I don't necessarily have to drill, but I'm gonna have to take up a lot of my rail space because I'd probably, actuality, it would be uncomfortable having your feet. It would be uncomfortable. I guess, can you lay your feet on it without it like bending them? Like you can put weight on them, right? Like,
I mean, they're aluminum rails and aluminum pedals.
yeah. See, if I did it, I'll just do it how Hobie did it. They take a Yak Attack 90 and flip it down over the side.
Well, yeah, and you'd have to put them up higher so you could just use your hip to it.
Mm-hmm. How's the water line on this?
Good.
Yeah?
Let me see the front end. Yeah, I mean,
About the same?
motor kicks in, the valve's gonna raise.
Yeah. Man, it's so weird getting back in this with the stability. It's so different. I do, yeah. It's crazy. Like, it's the primary stability. Like, you know, I just feel so much more comfortable. Well, and that's what I've been telling everybody is, you know, someone's experience might be completely different in the same kayak. You know, you have to really, there's a lot of pollen on the water.
Yeah, I noticed on my truck this morning too.
Yeah. You know, everyone's got to kind of try it out themselves and see what they like.
Yeah, with that motor in the back though, it's gonna pull that valve up, or you had that trolling motor.
It was sinking it down. I noticed when I had it on the hammer, the Tarova, that the higher the shaft, the better the speed I got. And I think it's because it was shoveling down with the weight. Oh, I guarantee it probably was, because that motor sits right underneath. It was right underneath. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I think it was between that, the weight, and, you know, standing forward on it. Probably pushing that, you know, you're pushing that front end down quite a bit. So I'll just be curious to see what the battery life really is on it, because it is I think it's a 30. It does, yeah. Yeah, so like right now, you know, we're going 3.25 and it says I can go 25 miles on it. 3.25?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It says I can go 25 miles.
3.5 on the
Yeah. 26 miles, 7 hours of runtime. Yeah, 26 miles.
Wow.
I mean, for a 30 amp, I think it's a 30 amp hour. 30 amp hour. Yeah. Imagine if it was like a 50. Dude, you could run for 4 or 5 days. Yep. Well, there's a plug on the front of it, basically. Yeah. I was surprised. I think it took maybe an hour for the first charge. That was it. So it was pretty quick. I think I'll need to tighten my rudder handle up a little bit. I'm getting that. So on your Old Town, you bought the rudder bolt, right?
Yeah.
Did that help quite a bit?
It tightened it up a little bit, but you're still going to have to go play in the rudder.
Yeah. Oh, barely. And those are only 6 foot rods, 6.5 foot rods. Yeah, it wants to turn to the right. It's easy to turn left, turning right's harder. Yeah.
But
I don't want to though. I like pedaling.
no need.
Yeah. I like getting to a spot and then I noticed like with the Tarova, I was fishing so fast. Like I was on the boat again.
Standing up a lot more too.
I was. Yeah, I'm not getting any water kick up at all right now. Whereas the Tarova I was.
Well, oh yeah. I'd be curious about the high speeds though. Well, again, you probably don't want to go wide open.
Let's see what it.
Get out of the way.
That's 4.8. No water. No water at all. 4.8. Yeah. Well, having those scupper plugs in the right direction helps too. So this is also just the standard prop. They make a weedless prop that I bought for it as well. I don't miss having to click the button, that's for sure. You spend a lot of time messing with this other than casting, you know, trying to position yourself, whereas if you're just using your... Yeah. We just don't spot lock a lot, you know? Drift and come up, drift and come up. Yeah, when I first hit the power, it was like, woo! You could feel it like a booster. Yeah. Hope the water don't come up.
Yeah, no doubt.
I had to move my camera down. Dang. Now we're in business. There's one. Yep. Barely got him. Woo! I gotta do a Ryan. First fish of 2026, baby. Skunk is gone. Skunk is gone. Skunk is gone, mofos. Just a little bass came right off that point right there.
Yeah.
Got one. Nice chunk. Nice chunk. Green swim jig, Ron. Put one on. Yep. Choked it. Huh? Man, he choked that thing too. That's a female getting ready to spawn. Look how fat she is, guys. Nice little fish. Number 3.
Keep these rough days off my mind. see them change.
Okay guys, just came off the water. Motor did phenomenal. So I have to do some adjustments on the height of the motor in comparison to the back. At low speeds, you know, anything below 4.5, I didn't have any cavitation. Anything above that, the motor obviously was turning pretty good. So I know I could get probably close to 6 miles per hour out of that motor on that kayak, even with me and all the gear that I had with me today. I had 12 rods and all my bass gear, so all in all, I'm super pleased with how it performed. The turning, you know, I'm not using foot steering, I'm using my rudder, and I'm using the upgrade Navarre aluminum rudder. So, you know, steering wasn't that great, but was it manageable in larger open water? Absolutely. Didn't have an issue, you know, turning and going where I wanted to go. And, you know, you still have the pedals so you can reverse yourself out, or you can hit the motor and reverse yourself out. I forgot to hook up my reverse anti-lock, so I didn't use the reverse except for very low speeds, which that's fine too. I didn't have an issue with it. The noise of the motor compared to the NK180, night and day. The NK180's got a weird whine to it at different RPMs. Mine, you could barely hear it running back there at all. I ran it pretty much all day. We probably did 10 miles, I'm guessing. We ran quite a ways, and I still had like 90% battery or something, I think, when I came off the water. The module, the throttle module will tell you how much you have left as you're out there. I think I had like 11 or 13 miles left at the speed I was going, and I ran it probably 80% open the majority of the time that I ran it. So it got good speed, and the distance is phenomenal too. You have to remember that's I think it's only like a 30 amp 1000 watts. It's a 1000 watt motor, which I think it's equivalent to like a 30 amp hour basically. So, you know, to be able to go that distance with just that battery, that's pretty good in my opinion. I don't have any complaints about the motor at all. Putting it on, taking it off, that's easy. You know, give myself an extra couple minutes. You know, I'm already loading and unloading a bunch of stuff on the kayak, so I messed up and I broke my prop today in my pedal drive. So when I launched my kayak, I did not pull my pod, my PDL drive pod up, and it was getting caught on the crossbar, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And when I finally did, I'd already pushed against it so hard that it busted off the prop. What I will say is I had a spare prop with me. I have the floating prop nut, I have spare shear pins. I didn't change it out, and I'll tell you why I didn't change it out. I didn't change it out because I didn't know that I had a broken prop until I stood up to take a leak. All right, that PDL drive will still run almost normal with one prop. If you go fast, you'll get a bunch of vibration, but I tell you what, it did pretty good. All in all, today was a really good day. We did some speed tests against the native hammer versus the Old Town. So I'm pretty sure I can get the same speeds as him, if not maybe a little bit faster, to be honest with you. His boat is still pretty slick and you know, cuts through the water really good. The Old Town cut through the water flawlessly. I didn't take on water. I didn't have water issues like I did with the Tarova. It performed very well for, you know, for what I needed to do. So now when we compared the turning radius versus Old Town versus the native hammer with the foot steering, he obviously has the Wizard FCS steering on there, so he turned like he can pretty much pivot his whole kayak left to right or right to left and kind of stay in one spot. That's a huge benefit. Stability wise, Old Town still reigns supreme in my opinion. I didn't feel tippy today. I didn't feel like if I leaned over the edge to grab those fish, I didn't feel like I had a problem. I really felt comfortable and like I belong in the Old Town. All right, there's only one kayak I've ever felt better in, like stability wise and comfort wise, and that's the Hobie, and that's because of their vantage seat and the space that you have all the way around you. And of course, like a PA14 is a barge. I'd love to see a Torqeedo on a PA14. I think it would be really cool. Even a PA12, like, you would be moving pretty fast with it. So again, my impressions may not be the same impressions you guys have. If you're trying to compare the two kayaks, you know, now that I've had the Native Hammer and I've had the Old Town, you know, I've put the Native Hammer through a bunch of different tests that, you know, to me didn't stand up to those tests like my Old Town does. I can tell you what, I think if I had broken a prop in that Native Hammer, I don't think I would have been able to run it all day. I can't say that for sure. That's just my gut. Again, you got to kind of take everything with a grain of salt when somebody's telling you something. Do your own research, you know, and if you're watching this, you're doing research. So if I had to choose, I'd stay in my Old Town. I wouldn't get back in the Hammer, and I don't plan on getting back in the Hammer. The Hammer's going to be put up for sale. It's already for sale. That's it. I'm happy with it. I'm going to get home, unpack everything. Got the skunk off, which is the most important to me. Nah, just kidding. It's always nice to catch fish, but it's not always about the fish. A lot of it's just about getting out there and enjoying your time with other people and have a good time. So, all right, stay tuned, guys. We'll have some more stuff coming for you when the water temperature gets a little bit warmer. I think the fish are going to turn on more. You know,